It's 6 o'clock on a beautiful April day 25 years ago, and I have had an incredibly long day at school, but I can't get my 4-year-old daughter off of the monkey bars. She is having so much fun, and I love watching her, but I'd really like to go home and make dinner. And at the same time, a new daycare mom sidles up, and she says, "Oh my God, you're Chloe's mom." Oh, she is so natural and adorable. She would be amazing in children's television commercials. I'm an agent. I could get her auditions. Chloe? Television commercials? I have a really, really complex relationship with advertising. When I was growing up, my father worked in advertising, and at my house, when the commercials came on, he would turn the volume way up. And then he'd start, "Girls, girls, look at the way the light plays off of that product. And look at that, listen to that jingle. Isn't that catchy? And, oh my God, the talent. Are you kidding?" Or, "The talent. Wow, that was a good commercial." I loved my dad so much, and he loved advertising. So I loved advertising too. I would play commercials with my dolls and go through some of the scripts that I'd see on television. I would sing jingles to him in the car, at the dining room table, because I knew it would make him happy. And all I wanted for that, all I wanted was for him to please put me in one of your television commercials. And his answer would always be no. And he'd say, like, Michele, I make television commercials for furniture and jewelry. It's for adults." And it crushed me. And I would often cry because what I wanted most in the world at 9 years old was to be the child star of a lot of television commercials, and I thought, I'll just get started with a furniture commercial. What's the problem? My father and my mother thought it was kind of ridiculous, this sort of fit about being in television commercials, so they signed me up for drama classes. Fast forward, what do I end up doing as an adult? I don't go into advertising, but I do teach drama and media studies to teenagers. And ironically, in my backpack, as daycare mom is trying to talk me into putting my daughter into ads, are student essays on the persuasive techniques used in children's advertising. So I tell daycare mom, let me sleep on it. But I don't sleep. I can't stop thinking about what I should do. Do I put my daughter in commercials, and would that make me a bad parent? Do I not do it, and do I perhaps let her miss one of the biggest possibilities in her life? And what if my father had put me in a furniture commercial? Where would I be now? So I pay the $250 for a photo shoot, and Chloe's headshot is part of Folio Kids publicity material. Daycare mom becomes our agent, and a few days later, Chloe has her first audition for Mr. Potato Head. And I am so excited. I'm pumped. And in the car, I tell her, Chloe, this is going to be so much fun. There are going to be toys to play with and lots of kids. And she gets excited too. And then we arrive, and there is a sterile hallway, and we sit there for more than an hour. And Chloe's audition lasts for less than a minute. Turns out Chloe didn't know how to share, and she should have turned the potato head onto the next child instead of running around the room with it. Daycare mom comes up to me on the playground the next day and says, "I heard Chloe was a little wild. I'd suggest that you talk to her about how to follow directions." Which I try, but Chloe is just about 4 years old, and I have trouble getting her to do just about anything, including putting on her clothes in the morning. So the next auditions do not go that well. We go to a Mega Bloks audition, and she won't stop playing with the Mega Bloks. We go to a snowsuit audition, and her face and hands are covered with magic marker, and I haven't been able to wipe it off. She won't let me, so we don't get that ad. And honestly, I'm starting to get a little tired of this. The auditions are always in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the day. I have to lie at school and get a substitute. And then Chloe's not really enjoying this either. So I'm honestly thinking about quitting until daycare mom agent comes up to me and tells me she doesn't think she's going to send Chloe out on any more commercials because she can't follow directions. And I'm like, oh, whoa. You're saying that my adorable, bright, and talented 4-year-old is incapable of following directions? You are going to need to give her one more chance. So she sends us out on an Armour hot dog ad. And I decide that I am going to take things into my own hands. So when we're in the car, I have a heart-to-heart with Chloe. And I tell her, listen, miss, I am getting a little bit frustrated with your attitude at these auditions. I would like you to to follow directions. So when the director asks you to take a bite of that hot dog or to say a line, I want you to listen, miss. And I look back at my daughter. She looks so tiny and sad in the back seat. Have I become one of those stage moms who tries to live out her childhood dreams through her toddler? We arrive at the audition, and it's being held in the basement of a windowless building. And the director asks Chloe to say with enthusiasm, "This hot dog is yummy," which she repeats, or she tries to repeat, because really, does a 4-year-old know what enthusiasm means? And he asks her to say it over. Could you say it again, dear? Would you say it one more time, dear? One last time, dear. Until she starts crying and sobbing and says, I hate this. And she breaks down and she falls on the floor and is kicking and screaming, and I don't know what to do, but gosh, all this for a hot dog commercial. We don't even let Chloe eat hot dogs or watch commercials. Next day on the daycare, I know I need to have a discussion with daycare mom, agent. But before she says anything, I tell her, Chloe is retiring from advertising. She needs a little more time to be 3 3/4. Flash forward 18 years. My father is no longer advertising. He's retired. And I don't teach media studies or drama anymore. But Chloe, who's now 22, acts in plays, and she acts in commercials to pay her rent. She is showing her grandpa a new iPhone ad where she is a research scientist living in the North Pole. And my father asks to watch it again. And then he starts. Look, girls, look at the light on the rocks in the tundra. And listen to that music. It is just so catchy. And the talent. Chloe, you are a natural. And we both have tears in our eyes as we watch that ad again and again and again. Thank you.